Hi there! Welcome to the Asian Law Alliance's 43rd anniversary celebration. I'm Victoria Smith, president of the ALA, and tonight we're going to celebrate how you have helped us help others. Our deepest appreciation goes to our platinum sponsors, Baker Botts, Facebook, Kilpatrick Townsend and Stockton, Silicon Valley Community Foundation, and my own firm, Perkins Coie. Our special thanks goes to our gold sponsors, Aka Chan, Cooley, Fenwick and West, Morrison Forster, Shepherd Mullen, Weil Gottschall and Manges, and White and Case. To my fellow board members and elected leaders who are online with us tonight, thank you for all that you do for APIs, Latinx, and racial justice in the Silicon Valley. And a huge thanks goes to Richard Konda and his wonderful team at the ALA for their tenacious commitment to justice, dignity, and equality for all. Now, novel is a perfect word. It describes the coronavirus, but also the challenges that we face as a society today. Challenges to our health, our economy, but most importantly, our sense of community. Now, I know that many of us here tonight are immigrants. I'm an immigrant. When I was 3, my family and I escaped from Vietnam, and we were refugees who came to California. I remember those days, and looking back, it was like we were putting together a puzzle, except we had fewer pieces than what the box said we were supposed to have. Now, I don't feel that way very much nowadays, and I bet you don't either. But that world of missing puzzle pieces still exists, and it's alive and well right outside our door. So tonight, I ask you to please donate to the ALA to help us support the disadvantaged in Santa Clara County so that they can also chase the American dream just like you and I have. All right, so what does the ALA do with the donations? Well, in 2019, the ALA helped 2,900 clients, submitted 600 immigrant applications, and held over 170 community outreach and education meetings in English, Vietnamese, Spanish, Mandarin, Cantonese, Korean, and Tagalog. It's a lot of languages. The ALA now is also helping residents withstand job loss and other impacts of COVID-19 and the lockdown. Now, these residents include newly unemployed and underemployed tenants who may not be very aware of the new protections against evictions. We also help non-citizens who are afraid to apply for COVID-19 testing, unemployment, and government assistance. We also help low-income seniors, individuals with limited English proficiency, people with disabilities, and others who traditionally struggle with the public benefits application process. We help youth who are eligible for work authorization under DACA. Now tonight, you're going to hear directly from an ALA client, a brave ALA client. She is a domestic violence survivor, and she is newly sworn in as a U.S. citizen as of June 2020. You're also going to hear the true stories of the heroes we are honoring and celebrating tonight, including Dale Ho, the director of the Voting Rights Project at the ACLU, Alan Lowe, Vice President and Deputy GC and Head of Intellectual Property at Facebook, and Thuy Thi Nguyen, President of Foothill College. Our MC tonight is a special treat. He is San Francisco public defender by day and comedian by night, Velasca Nguyen. Okay, I'm not going to take up much more of your time. Please check out our silent auction. We have some pretty good stuff in there. Now, you can bid on those by clicking on the link in the chat. Finally, please consider a direct donation to the ALA. With your support, our clients can find those missing puzzle pieces. Thank you and have a great night.
I hope when I come here, I have a good life, happy life. But unlucky for me. And we talk very nice. He's nice guy, he's nice voice, and gentleman. I feel gentleman. I just say, can you visit me? So just only for maybe 3 months we talk. He come to visit me. He made me feel he want a good relationship with me. So I think he loved me too. I called 911, so I, very nervous and very hard, so hard. And when you see that your husband, yeah, and the police calls him, I cry a lot. And they told me Asian law will help me a lot.
My name is Kiriko Takahashi. I'm an immigration attorney at Asian Law Alliance. Asian Law Alliance is a non-profit organization founded in 1977. We serve about 2,500 disadvantaged low-income clients per year, providing community education, legal services in the area of immigration, family law, domestic violence, housing, public benefits, and civil rights.
My name is Catherine Lowe. I'm a staff attorney here at Asian Law Alliance, and I practice family law. So when Thuy first came to ALA, she needed some assistance with her immigration and her family law issues. So she had come here on a fiancé visa, and shortly after she got married, and so she experienced the abuse in her home from her husband.
Kiroko, Catherine, give me advice. Which one is bad for me? And I choose the life, me and my son.
When Thuy came to Asian Law Alliance, she faced severe form of domestic violence, but she wasn't sure what her legal rights are.
She was looking for assistance with a divorce, and she didn't know how to proceed with that.
Catherine advised for me divorce, and Kiroko advised for me immigration.
So I sat down with her, I explained to her the process for divorce, and we worked with her to get her started and worked with her to finish it. And about a year later, we were able to get a judgment in her case, and we were able to help her finish that divorce process.
We, provided legal consultation on her and determined that she came to the United States on K-1 visa, and she has a so-called 2-year conditional green card through the marriage to her U.S. citizen spouse.
After I talked with Catherine and Kiroko, I don't depend on my husband. I need to do my way.
She has been able to grow, and we've been there to support her in that.
I need to protect my son and give for my son a good life. Catherine Kiroko, my lawyer, helped me know about my value, recognize my value.
And as time goes by, she came in, told me that she got a new job, she got promoted, she's attending school. That was, to me, was amazing.
ALA has been around for so many years, and we've had the support from the community, and we really appreciate that support. And so if more people can get involved, through volunteering, maybe through donations, whatever way they can, that helps us to continue to do the work that we can do.
I want to tell the woman like me, don't be scared because you stay in the freedom country. LA can help you a lot. And don't be scared. Just be strong and confident. I feel very happy and feel very proud of me.
Wow, if we were in person this evening, I'd ask everyone here to stand and applaud Thui's strength and courage and congratulate her on gaining citizenship. Instead, I'll ask you to give it up for her and staff at Asian Law Alliance in the chat right on your screen. I'd also like to ask you to make a personal donation to ALA so that they can keep serving Silicon Valley's most vulnerable. There are just too many in our community who cannot afford an attorney to get the critical help that they need. Please donate to ALA now by clicking the link in the chat. Wow, thank you, Victoria, for kicking things off with your generous donation. That is absolutely amazing. Good evening, everyone. My name is Velasco Wynn, and I have the distinct privilege of being your MC for the next 50 minutes or so. Like ALA President Victoria Smith, I am the child of Vietnamese parents who fled the Communist Army during the fall of Saigon and immigrated to the United States. They settled in Alaska, and I was born a few months later. My parents used my name, Velasca, to build a bridge between their home in Vietnam and our new life in Alaska. As Victoria mentioned, I'm a public defender by day, a comedian by night, and I'm also a dad, which means my favorite attire are Crocs and socks, which I may or may not be wearing right now. In all seriousness, I'm honored to be with you, serving as MC to celebrate the 43rd anniversary of the ALA. Since 1977, ALA has worked to provide equal access to the justice system for Silicon Valley's racially diverse low-income populations, advancing justice, dignity, and equality for all. Through legal counseling, Know Your Rights education, and community organizing, ALA promotes self-sufficiency, self-reliance, and a better quality of life for everyone. They've been busier than ever since the COVID-19 pandemic, since low-income people of color are hit hardest by the health and economic crisis. There are many ways to support the work of ALA right here, right now. Check out our silent auction. We have some amazing items, including an overnight stay in beautiful Lake Tahoe and lunch with Alan Lowe, Deputy General Counsel and Vice President for Product, IP, and Legal Operations at Facebook. I wonder how direct donations are going so far. Donations have continued coming in. Thank you very much to Mommy Glover and Ruby Kazi. The night is young and this is exciting. Switching gears, as we all know, the pandemic has tested us in ways we have never been tested before. Our physical and emotional health has been at stake. So has our sense of inclusion and belonging. Even when we shelter in place, racism persists and surrounds us. COVID-19 gets called things like Kung Flu. Hate crimes against APIs increase, and we are still learning the impacts of all attacks against people of color, which sadly continue through the pandemic. Given all of this, last month, ALA asked, what have you or your team done to promote wellness, inclusion, or a sense of community since the start of the pandemic? Participants sent a short video. It was really challenging picking just one winner, so tonight, we will share the winning video and our runner-up. And now, without further ado, it is my honor to present you with the winner of the ALA Resilience Challenge, White & Case. Congratulations. Following the wonderful submission from White & Case, you'll see another great entry from Perkins Coie. ALA is proud and thankful for both of your work in our community.
Hi, I'm Bijal Vakil. I'm a partner at White & Case. Our firm is proud and pleased to support the Asian Law Alliance's 43rd anniversary celebration. Because of the COVID pandemic, we couldn't celebrate Pride Month in the manner that we normally would, in person, but we were resilient. We made it a point to get together virtually, and we're proud to share this video with all of you. Thank you to the Asian Law Alliance for all of the hard work that you do every day for our community.
Hey everyone, my name is Alex Tuma. I'm a co-chair of the White and Case Spectrum LGBT plus affinity group and a partner in the Silicon Valley office. On behalf of White and Case, I would like to welcome our clients and our White and Case family to this Pride event.
Hi everyone, my name's Reese Bortignon and I'm the chair of the White and Case Pride 2020 committee. And although we can't be physically together as in previous years, we really hope that we can all virtually come together, let our hair down, have fun, and show our pride for our community and allies.
Hello everyone and welcome to the White and Case Pride 2020 celebration. If you're all ready for a show, let me see you wave your hands. I'm gonna try to get her on the line right now, okay? Everyone ready? Christy, hey Christy, are you there?
Hi, Peppermint. I'm thrilled to be here. I made myself a quarantini.
Please put your hands together for Miss Fifi Dubois.
What's the use? Wow! Of falling in love.
Oh my gosh, Fifi, great job, girl.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Mama. You are looking gorgeous and fabulous, and I can't believe you were able to do all those splits and leaps and then get over so calmly and collected to your Skype camera. Yes, Shaquita.
The world must come together as one. We are a part of God's great big family.
And true, you know, love is all we need.
My name is David Kershane, co-chair of the U.S. Spectrum LGBT plus Affinity Network at White and Case. The best part about Pride is getting to showcase to the world who you are and have fun with friends, family, and colleagues who support you. We had a lot of fun together tonight, but our Pride does not end tonight or this month. We look forward to generating pride with you year-round. Thank you for coming.
Are you still here? Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
So first up we got horse stand. Dot, Schwiebenfrat, dot,
Reflecting back on the past 5 months, I try to focus on the silver linings. That as an attorney, I'm able to work from home, that I've been able to convert my daily commute into daily walks with my family, and that while I miss seeing my work friends with the creative efforts of people around my firm, I've had so many opportunities to meet and connect with my colleagues across the nation and around the globe. Perhaps one of the most inspirational and health-focused activities was the Perkins Coie Women's Forum Fitness Challenge, with the stated purpose of connecting with other women at the firm in a healthy way. Perkins National Women's Group organized an exercise challenge promoting wellness and community for us to stay connected while being apart. Women around the firm videotaped themselves and their kids and their pets doing a daily challenge of exercises after giving a short introduction. Each day we traveled to someone's deck in Marin County, poolside in Phoenix, to a deck overlooking the San Francisco Bay. We were challenged to do boxing in Washington, D.C., calf raises in Portland, kung fu in Phoenix, and ballet in San Francisco. In this fun challenge, we met our colleagues across the firm, got a little fitness, and raised our spirits together.
Okay, that was absolutely amazing. Congratulations again, White and Case and Perkins Coie. I've been given permission to tell a few jokes throughout the program, and considering there are a lot of fellow lawyers out there, here's a lawyer joke for you. I've had some hard losses being a public defender, but one of the toughest losses I had was when I was representing a client who was this old-timer, mentally ill, black, schizophrenic, homeless man. And he was sentenced to 14 years in state prison for having a small amount of drugs on him. After the trial, a juror came up to me and said, look, your client is better off behind bars. He reminded me of that guy Brooks from that movie Shawshank Redemption. He was better off being in jail. He wouldn't make it out in the real world. And in response to this juror, I said, "Why did you have to ruin my favorite movie? Why couldn't you just make a comparison to a crappy movie like Legends of the Fall? Because I wish I hated that movie." Anyway, now is the part of the program where I'd normally say don't forget to tip your bartenders, but since we're at home, I'll just remind you to make a donation to ALA instead by clicking the link in the chat. Thank you to everyone who's donated so far. I wanted to give a very special thank you to our platinum sponsors of tonight's event: Baker Bots, Facebook, Kilpatrick, Townsend, and Stockton, Perkins Coie, and Silicon Valley Community Foundation. And now for our awards program. Each year, ALA honors 3 distinguished leaders who inspire us with their dedication to advancing justice, dignity, and equality for all. ALA honors these leaders for their impact in the legal and business community. To introduce our Business Impact honoree, please welcome, in the chat, Travis Thomas, a partner at the law firm of Baker Botts, followed by Erica Shimizu Banks, founder and principal of Shisho LLC and a fierce advocate for equity in policy and business.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us this evening to celebrate the Asian Law Alliance's 43rd anniversary. My name is Travis Thomas, and I'm a partner in the Intellectual Property Department at Baker Botts LLP in our Palo Alto office and a member of our firm-wide executive committee. It's my pleasure and my honor, along with Erica Banks, to introduce Alan Lowe, one of tonight's honorees. I've worked with Alan for the past 3 years and known him for many more. Alan's one of the top lawyers at Facebook, where he is Deputy General Counsel and Vice President for Products, Intellectual Property, and Legal Operations. Some 300 people in Facebook's legal department, across Facebook's intellectual property team, products legal team, augmented and virtual reality team, and legal operations team report directly or indirectly to Alan. His responsibilities are enormous, and I can't think of anyone more capable of carrying them out. Alan's a superb lawyer with a keen sense for business and a deep understanding of complex technology. And in true tech tradition, he's also extremely innovative and applies those skills to operations and analytics to ensure that the teams he leads provide the very best legal advice and service efficiently and at an astoundingly large scale. Alan's also an extraordinary leader who brings out the very best in people, which Erica will talk more about in a moment. Alan's also a great person, and I'm sure everyone here who knows him will wholeheartedly agree. Alan's horsepower, drive, and work ethic are demonstrated clearly by his resume, which I'll let speak for itself. Alan received a Bachelor of Science of Electrical Engineering from Ohio State University in 1990. After undergrad, Alan went to law school at Georgetown University Law Center. While in law school, he worked as a patent examiner at the United States Patent and Trademark Office, and during that time, he also worked as a student associate at Finnegan, Henderson, Faribault, Garrett, and Dunner, LLP. After law school, Alan went to work at Finnegan as an associate in Washington, D.C. and Palo Alto. While an associate at Finnegan, Alan also taught at the University of California, Berkeley School of Law as an adjunct professor. And while doing all that and keeping with his penchant for taking on more work than a mere mortal should be able to do, he also served as a judicial law clerk to Chief Magistrate Judge Edward A. Infante of the United States District Court for the Northern District of California. Alan left Finnegan in 2000 for Juniper Networks, where he became Deputy General Counsel and Vice President for Intellectual Property. Then, after 11 years at Juniper Networks, Alan moved to Google, where he was Deputy General Counsel for Patents. While at Google, Alan was a frontline general and key player in the smartphone wars and oversaw strategic growth in Google's patent portfolio to a staggering number of over 50,000 assets. Alan left Google 3 years ago for Facebook, where he became Vice President and Deputy General Counsel for Intellectual Property. And in that short time, seeing the value Alan brings to the table, Facebook added products and legal operations to his title and responsibilities there. This promotion is a testament to Alan's drive and ability to adapt also, as it came just a few months ago while in the midst of all the changes and uncertainty brought on by COVID-19. I congratulate you, Alan, on all these accomplishments and on tonight's well-deserved honor from the Asian Law Alliance.
In this era of the unpredictable and extreme, some things remain constant. One, that crises exacerbate inequality. We see it in the rise of hate crimes against Asian Americans and the disproportionate deaths of our Black and Brown community members due to COVID-19, which is why the mission of the Asian Law Alliance is more important than ever. But also, in these times of crisis, we can always look for the helpers, those who are willing to take risks to do the right thing and are always ready to uplift the quietest voices and the farthest reaching ideals. Alan Lowe is one of those helpers. Alan is well known as a leader in intellectual property law. At Juniper Networks, he was the first IP attorney at the company. He built the patent portfolio team from the ground up, ending his time there as Deputy General Counsel and Vice President of IP. He then joined Google in 2012, where he led the company through the smartphone wars and brokered patent peace by negotiating open licensing agreements across the industry and advancing patent reform, resulting in intellectual asset management naming him the most influential driver of global IP in 2015. He is now Vice President and Deputy General Counsel of Product, IP, and Legal Operations at Facebook, where his teams counsel Facebook's product and engineering teams on all legal issues, provide legal support for the AR and VR business, and are responsible for Facebook's law firm management, budget and headcount planning, and legal department processes and initiatives, including diversity programs. He's helped promote balance in the patent system and innovation in the tech industry, to the benefit of not just the companies he works for, but the landscape as a whole. But that's not the kind of help I'm talking about. Alan Lowe is the kind of leader who recognizes that in every industry, company, and position, there is both the opportunity and the responsibility to fight inequality. And Alan seizes every meaningful opportunity to take this responsibility seriously. I know this because he lifted up my voice when I was a junior member on the Google patent team. In 2016, in the wake of the murders of Alton Sterling and Philando Castile by police, Google declared Black Lives Matter on Twitter. While in our offices, we had conversations about whether that was actually true. After I shared with my team how police brutality impacted my family's life, I was afraid my vulnerability would make me a liability. Instead, Alan encouraged me to turn my story into action and develop diversity, equity, and inclusion programs for the patent team and the legal department as a whole. As a result of Alan's sponsorship, thousands of entrepreneurs of color received support for their businesses. Public high school students competed in national robotics competitions, many for the first time. And dozens of Black and Brown law students interned for the type of white shoe law firms that would never have given their applications a first glance before. Alan carries this sponsorship on at Facebook, where he has started the Asian Pacific Islander Business Resource Group for Legal. He's on the Facebook Legal D&I Steering Committee, and he's led Facebook's participation in 2 projects to address COVID-19, working with Carnegie Mellon University and the University of Maryland to promote a survey of early COVID-19 symptoms, and leading Facebook's participation in the Open COVID Pledge, an agreement to make IP freely available for use in ending COVID-19 and minimizing the disease's impact. Wherever Alan goes, he's not only a leader, but a helper. Look for him. It is my privilege to introduce to you this year's Business Impact honoree, Alan Lowe.
It is a tremendous honor and privilege to receive the Asian Law Alliance 2020 Business Impact Award. I would like to thank the ALA Board of Directors and staff for this recognition, as well as congratulate my fellow honorees. Let me share why this is important to me. My career began 30 years ago in government after which I moved to private practice before going in-house. Whatever success I've achieved, I did not accomplish on my own. I couldn't have gotten anywhere without the generous support of colleagues, managers, and family from whom I learned life lessons that made me who I am today. My first in-house role was at Juniper Networks. Where law school teaches you how to think like a lawyer, at Juniper, I learned how to think like a business person. I then spent nearly 6 years at Google, where I learned how to lead with courage and to think bigger. Now I'm at Facebook, perhaps the most fun and fulfilling role I've ever had. I feel so lucky to be able to work with incredibly talented people on some of the most interesting legal issues anywhere. At Facebook, I've learned the power of diversity and the importance of inclusion. But most of the credit for my success go to the three people closest to me. First, my father, who fled China to Taiwan and then immigrated to the US in 1959. He's guided my career since college and instilled in me the importance of working hard and staying grounded. Second, my mother, who fled North Korea to Seoul and then immigrated to the US in the early 1960s. She reinforced in me my belief in myself and is the voice in my head that reminds me that I belong, I deserve to be here, and that the sky is the limit. And finally, my wife, with whom I've been together with since we met 34 years ago at the same college in Ohio where my parents met. She's been the moral and emotional support that has lifted me throughout my career. Over the years, some things have changed in the legal profession, while other things have stayed the same. More Asians are going to law school than ever before, but they aren't reaching the top levels at the same rate as their peers. Because of that, we don't see enough Asian mentors and role models for the next generation. Why does this matter? Recent events, such as the coronavirus, the trade war with China, and the rise of white nationalism, are creating a dangerous backlash against Asians in the US. Anti-Asian sentiment and hate crime are up. Changes to US immigration law are keeping Asian immigrants out of the US. And with the recent police killings, civil rights are under assault in a way that threaten people of all colors. These problems will not go away unless we lead the change. We need attorneys at the most senior levels in law firms, government, and business to drive changes to protect our community. For these reasons, I applaud the efforts of the ALA and its staff. For over 40 years, they have served our community through their services and are working to preserve rights for the next generation of Asian Americans. And for me, that next generation are my two kids, who I couldn't be more proud of. I imagine a brighter future for them where they have Asian role models throughout their careers. Thank you, Asian Law Alliance, for recognizing achievement in our profession, and I look forward to working with them to create a better tomorrow.
Congratulations, Alan, and thanks Travis and Erica for being part of our program and for all that you do to make an impact. Before we go to our next honoree, I want to remind you that there is still time to bid on our silent auction items. In fact, you can bid on lunch with Alan, as well as lunch with Cassandra Knight, Chief Litigation Officer at PayPal. The value on those? Priceless. We also have a variety of restaurant gift cards for takeout orders, some fantastic jewelry, and 4 tickets to Hakone Estate and Gardens, a beautiful open-air activity for the family. Get those bids in now. And don't forget, you can still make a direct donation to ALA. Just click on the link in the chat. Now, here to introduce our Legal Impact honoree is Ann M., Immigration Program Officer at the Silicon Valley Community Foundation, an institutional leader in advancing innovative philanthropic solutions to the region's most challenging problems. Here's Ann.
Alaska, thank you for your introduction. On behalf of Silicon Valley Community Foundation, it's an honor to serve as this year's Legal Impact Co-Chair for Asian Law Alliance's anniversary celebration. Our foundation is committed to reducing systemic disparities in our region with a focus on San Mateo and Santa Clara counties. We are pleased to be a longtime supporter and partner of ALA, which has been fighting for social justice for 43 years so that everyone in our community, regardless of race, income, or background, can have a better life. I'm thrilled to introduce this year's Legal Impact honoree, Dale Ho. Dale serves as the director of the American Civil Liberties Union's Voting Rights Project. And in this role, he supervises the ACLU's voting rights litigation nationwide. Dale has active cases in over a dozen states throughout the country. In one notable case, called Fish versus Kobach, he successfully challenged documentation requirements for voter registration in Kansas. Legal scholar Richard Hazen described this case as, quote, the most significant voting rights case this century, end quote. Dale's legal experience goes beyond litigation. He testified on election law issues before Congress and in various state legislatures around the country. He also serves as an adjunct clinical professor at NYU School of Law. Prior to joining the ACLU, Dale was assistant counsel at the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, an associate at Fried, Frank, Harris, Schreiber, and Jacobson, and a judicial law clerk to District Court Judge Barbara S. Jones, the Southern District of New York, and Judge Robert S. Smith of the New York Court of Appeals. Prior to his clerkships, Dale graduated from Yale Law School and Princeton University. Dale is truly a rock star in the voting rights world, but I am especially excited to introduce Dale because he is also a rock star in the census world. The 2020 census is our constitutional right to count every person in the country. And as you may know, this year's census has been fraught with many challenges. I have been managing our foundation's census initiative, which began in 2017, and we have supported nonprofits like ALA, who are the trusted messengers in the community, encouraging people to complete the census form. And we engaged in public policy issues, like joining the amicus brief for the Department of Commerce versus New York case, which challenged the inclusion of a citizenship question on the census. Dale argued that case before the US Supreme Court, which is featured in the award-winning documentary film, The Fight. I remember being on a funder briefing call with Dale in the midst of this case. He clearly had a lot going on, but he took the time to update foundations throughout the country on the status of the case, and he talked about how we were in uncharted territory. Well, Dale was able to navigate us through new waters, and he successfully won the case. I know that because of his efforts, more people will be counted and our community will be stronger. I later found out after hearing Dale present at a workshop that this was his first time appearing before the US Supreme Court. That's a very impressive one-for-one. Dale, thank you for your relentless efforts to ensure that everyone in our community is represented and has a voice. We are so fortunate to have you in the legal field fighting every day for social justice. I wish I could present this award to you in person, but instead, I send you my virtual congratulations.
Good evening. My name is Dale Ho, and I'm the director of the ACLU Voting Rights Project. I want to start by thanking all of you for your support of Asian Law Alliance and for joining us in this virtual celebration tonight. Words can't express how honored I am to receive ALA's Legal Impact Award. I actually grew up in San Jose, and my family has been involved with ALA for as long as I can remember. My mother was on the board when I was a student growing up, and I just wish that I could be back in the Bay Area tonight with all of you so that we could celebrate in person and come together in what I know are really difficult times. And you don't need me to tell you that over the last 3.5 years, we've experienced an assault on civil rights, and in particular on immigrant communities, unlike anything that we've experienced in a generation. I know this firsthand from my own work. Last year, I argued a case in the Supreme Court blocking the administration's attempt to add a citizenship question to the 2020 census, a move that would have been devastating for Asian American communities. By the administration's own estimate, the question would have caused more than 6 million people not to respond to the census, costing 6 states with large immigrant populations, including California, to lose a seat in Congress and a vote in the Electoral College. The administration claimed that it undertook this effort to enforce the Voting Rights Act, but we knew that was a sham. This administration hasn't filed a single case under the VRA. And fortunately, 5 members of the Supreme Court agreed with us, saw through it, and ruled that it was illegal. But I think, as all of you know, the fight goes on. Just last month, in fact, the administration announced that it would, in blatant defiance of the Constitution, seek to exclude undocumented immigrants altogether from the census. Now, we knew all along that this administration had no interest in protecting voting rights and, in fact, had the opposite goal, which was to dilute the political representation of our communities. I guess now, at least, they're admitting it. But we're fighting back, and we've filed yet another lawsuit to block this latest unconstitutional act by the administration, and I'm confident that will prevail. But all of this, these attacks on immigrant and Asian American communities, underscores for me why the work of Asian Law Alliance along the wide range of issues that it works on in Asian American communities, defending civil rights, ensuring access to housing and public benefits, providing immigration and deportation defense, why all of that is so vitally important right now. In fact, I can't think of anything more important than the portfolio of work that ALA is doing. Now, I know, though, that the last few months have been hard, but I also know that we have seen energy and activism around the country that has, for me anyway, been incredibly inspiring and makes me very optimistic that we'll continue to see broad levels of civic engagement through the fall. I'm really grateful for the work that ALA is doing and that we have had the opportunity to come together tonight. So one last time, I want to thank ALA for this award and thank you all for your support of Asian Law Alliance.
Let's give it up in the chat for Dale and for all our honorees and presenters tonight. Because of their work, we are included and our rights are protected, which is especially important for disadvantaged communities whose voices are diminished through no fault of their own. Being a public defender, I'm proud to give a voice to the most marginalized community. There was one occasion where a different juror came up to me after a very serious case I won, and this is exactly what she said. You know what would make you more credible? Facial hair. And I looked at her and said, ma'am, I am trying as hard as I can. I've been working on this goatee for about 42 years. I've had one razor my entire life. And you know where I got it? From my dad. You know where he got it? From his dad. You know how many times it's been used in its entire life? One time by my wife. While we still have time left in our program, I do want to take a moment to thank everyone who has donated or bid on our silent auction items. ALA could not do what it does without you. Helping APIs, Latinx, and others in Silicon Valley hit hardest by job loss, domestic violence, racism, hate crimes, other discrimination, and more. I'm also really proud to point out that donations to ALA are tax deductible. Contributions support an organization that is led by a person of color. And it's an organization that's been doing anti-racist work for over 43 years. And I can say, since I'm close in age with ALA, if ALA feels the same way I do inside, feels like a 100-year-old man, all right? Have sympathy on us. Donate now. Finally, because tonight's event is online rather than a traditional anniversary gala, more of your donations will go directly toward ALA's programs and services to help those who need it most. So please, consider making a personal donation if you haven't done so already. The hour is almost up, and we have one more amazing honoree to recognize. To introduce ALA's Community Impact Honoree, we are lucky to have with us this evening Dr. Mary Ann Doohan, Superintendent of Santa Clara County's Office of Education. Dr. Doohan, take it away.
It is my honor to introduce this year's Community Impact Honoree, Thuy T. Nguyen. Thuy serves as the 7th president of Foothill College in Los Altos Hills, California, a position she has held since July 2016. She is the first Vietnamese American college president in the country. Thuy is most deserving of this honor, as her leadership has had a profound and lasting impact on our community. Prior to her arrival at Foothill, Thuy served as interim general counsel for the California Community Colleges Chancellor's Office, where she oversaw the equal employment opportunity plans for community college districts and colleges. Thuy is the founding board chair of California LAW Pathway, a nonprofit organization that coordinates the unprecedented statewide 2+2+3 Community College Pathway to Law School program that she initiated with the State Bar of California's Council on Access and Fairness. Thuy co-published a book, 25 Vietnamese Americans in 25 Years, showcasing the contributions of 25 distinguished Vietnamese Americans to mark the anniversary of the fall of Saigon. Thuy earned her BA in philosophy from Yale University and her Juris Doctorate degree from the University of California, Los Angeles School of Law. In addition to her leadership roles, Thuy impacts the community as a Rotarian and a Paul and Daisy Soros for New Americans Fellow. Thuy has been the recipient of a number of awards and recognitions, including being named one of 18 best lawyers under 40 in the country by the National Asian American Bar Association and receiving the coveted Diversity Award from the State Bar of California. On July 4th, 2017, Thuy was honored as part of the Carnegie Corporation's Great Immigrants Tribute in the New York Times, which recognizes naturalized citizens who have helped advance society, culture, and the economy. In 2019, Thuy was named one of the 100 Women of Influence by Silicon Valley Business Journal and awarded Assembly Member Evan Lowe's Leadership and Public Service Award for Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month. President Thuy believes in youth and youth voice and has led a number of activities at Foothill, such as commissioning a Dreamers mural, holding public service announcement contests, and fostering service leadership among the students. These experiences will have a lasting impact on our youth. Please join me in honoring my friend, colleague, and inspirational leader, Thuy T. Nguyen.
Good evening, Asian Law Alliance friends. Thank you so much for the recognition. As a Vietnamese saying goes, Mẫu ơi thương lấy bí cùng, tuy rằng khác giống nhưng chung một sàn. Oh squash, please remember to love the melon. Even though you're from different seeds, you share the same vine. We all are in this together, whether it be through this pandemic and our reason for not being able to be physically together, or with the civil unrest and the efforts of social racial justice in our country. We're all in this together. And I really appreciate the work that the Asian Law Alliance has been doing for all these years, and for you to confer such a recognition of impact. I'm deeply grateful, yet we all know that we're all in this together. We all share the same vine. We all share the same destiny. And for that, I thank you and wish you all the best.
Good evening. I'm Richard Konda, Executive Director and one of the founders of Asian Law Alliance. On behalf of ALA, thank you for joining us and for helping us to ensure Silicon Valley's most vulnerable residents have equal access to the justice system and the legal services they deserve. Since our founding 43 years ago, ALA has helped tens of thousands of low-income people achieve justice in the immigration process, and access to basic human rights. But we have a lot of work to do. It's no secret that low-income communities have been hardest hit by the COVID-19 pandemic. From the health consequences, to the loss of jobs and benefits, to the very real prospect of losing their homes, low-income communities have suffered disproportionately. Domestic violence has increased, and many immigrants are scared to even get tested for the virus. In addition, Asian Americans are being blamed for the virus and targeted in verbal and physical attacks. Since the beginning of the pandemic, there have been over 2,000 cases of anti-Asian discrimination reported across the country, including here in Silicon Valley. ALA is committed to fighting hate and racism of any kind in our community. We are in solidarity with Black Lives Matter and will continue to stand against bigotry and discrimination in any form. Although ALA began as a legal services organization focused on addressing issues in the API community, our mission has expanded to reach other low-income communities facing similar issues. And with your help, ALA will continue to serve as a voice for those who need help the most. Thank you to our sponsors, donors, honorees, co-chairs, to Velasca Nguyen, our MC, Victoria Smith, our board president, and everyone who gave precious time and resources to celebrate ALA's 43 years of advancing justice, dignity, and equality. Our silent auction will remain open until midnight tonight, so you can keep bidding until then. You can also make a direct donation to ALA by clicking the link in the chat or by visiting our website anytime at asianlawalliance.org. Thank you again for joining us this evening and for your generous support of ALA. I look forward to seeing you all next year at our 44th anniversary celebration. Have a great night.